Still hiding your confidence because your outfit isn't doing the talking? My name is Wuraola Ubaka. I am called your profitable fashion coach because if your business isn't making money, why are you even in business? At Wura, we don't just make clothes. We create statements. Our timeless ready-to-wear pieces are created for the woman who walks in grace, owns her space, and turns heads effortlessly. And if you are a fashionpreneur struggling to turn your talent into real income, especially if you are stuck in bespoke and want to transition to ready-to-wear, the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy is your next step. We teach fashion creatives how to structure, scale, and sell profitably. From the woman who wears it to the woman who makes it. Confidence and profits go hand in hand. Wura dresses you. The PFA builds you. So come, join the movement. Wear confidence and build profits with Wura and the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy. Welcome to another Fashionpreneur Friday Live. Today we are going to be talking about hidden costs. Yes, what is that hidden cost that is quietly draining your business, draining your profits? What is that hidden cost? My name is Wuraola Obaka, and I am called your profitable fashion coach because if your business is not making money, why are you even in business? Today we are exploring the topic, the hidden cost of not having systems and how to fix it. Through the course of the week and our daily fashion fixes, we have explored different lenses of how we may be losing money in our fashion business. Remember, this is a Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy, and our job is to help you ensure that your fashion business is profitable. We are moving from creativity to profitability. So, I want to talk about something that we never calculate as fashion businesses. No, it's not pricing, it's not marketing, and it is not your sewing skill. Let's talk about that hidden cost that is quietly draining our businesses. So every single month, something is draining your business. Let's look at those things that we don't even consider. So a lot of fashion businesses have a lot of customers. Every time that I get into a one-on-one session with any of my mentees or with anybody who books my session, it's never a problem of customers because we have a lot of customers. We have a lot of people who really like our work, really want to patronize us or even actually patronize us, but somehow our fashion businesses are still failing. So these businesses are not failing because of lack of customers. They are failing because of invisible losses. So today I want to turn the searchlight on these losses that we are not paying attention to. We are turning the searchlight on the invisible losses so that we can make them visible. We want to help you create systems that turn the invisible losses visible so you know what to track. So many losses happen because we don't track, we don't notice, or we even normalize certain actions that is costing us money. So if at the end of the month you're asking yourself, but 5 million came inside this business now, where's my money? Where did the money go to? That's actually the background of today's conversation. So let me simplify it for you. You know, every time we talk about systems, but a system is not, it's not something corporate. It's not a corporate slang that we just use. A system is simply a decision that you make once so that we don't have to make it again. That's simply what a system is. So I want to use a simple example. I don't know how many of us know McDonald's. If you know McDonald's, put it in the comment section. Say, I know McDonald's. I know McDonald's. Now, if you know McDonald's, you know McDonald's has been in the burger industry for so long. And McDonald's has franchises in every major city across the world. Now, what made McDonald's so successful? McDonald's is not successful because burgers are difficult to make. It is successful because any 19-year-old or 18-year-old, any young person anywhere in the world that can actually work a job, function in the system, can make a McDonald's burger. And what makes it possible for these people to make a McDonald's burger? McDonald's has systemized the process by which that burger is made. So it tells you the type of bread to buy. It tells you the type of bun. It tells you whether you should hit the bun. It tells you the type of vegetables, lettuce, or whatever. It tells you the quantity. So that's what systemization is about. But you see, so just yesterday, I was walking through the underground station in London. And if anybody lives in London on this call, you will know how even someone who has never been to London, if you want to take a London underground train and you research through your Google that, oh, I'm going to this place, how do I get there? And it takes you to the underground. The signs on the underground tells you exactly where to go and how to get there. It is systemized in a way that even a 5-year-old can understand. As long as you can read, you can't get missing in the underground system in London. So it has been systemized so much that it has created a repeatable way by which you find your way. Now, most fashion founders rely on memory instead of relying on that documented system. And the truth is that memory is expensive because sometimes even myself, I dey forget. We all forget. That's why we are humans. You may do something in a particular way and tomorrow you've forgotten how you actually achieved it. So, what are the invisible costs that we don't see that is making us lose money? Number one, the cost of rework. Put that in the comment section. The cost of rework. So, the cost of reworking a dress or something. The cost of rework. That is the first invisible system. So, let me paint a familiar scenario. A dress goes out and then a customer calls and says, oh, this your size 12 that you sent to me, it's not correct. This is not the length that I sent to you. I told you I was a length 60 and this thing is 62. It's so long, it's dragging on the floor, I can't wear it. So you say, sorry, okay, I will send a rider to pick it. We'll fix it and get it out to you. And so you send the rider to pick it. But beyond sending a rider to pick it, here's what you do not see. You are spending extra money on sending that rider to pick it and back. You're probably going to spend extra money on labor. Now, if you pay your tailors a salary, for instance, you are still spending extra money on labor because the time that they would have used to start sewing something else, they'll be using it to rework something that has already gone out, right? So you are losing time. If you're paying on commission, you most likely have to pay a little amount extra for that rework. Or even if it's someone's time, like I said, if it's already in your SOP that someone pays for that error, you're still going to lose time. And as we know, time is money. Then, of course, have we calculated the hidden cost of your energy? Just the time that it takes for you to do that whole coordination. And this is whether it's you or a member of your team, because that is, again, time that you can be using to do something else, right? So you earned once for that dress, but you paid twice. Now imagine you send something maybe somewhere in Abuja and delivery cost is 3,000 naira. So the customer had paid for delivery 3,000 naira. Now, because you have to send the rider to go and pick it, and then you still have to return it because you're not going to charge the customer for that, you find yourself spending 6,000 naira on logistics before any other thing. Now imagine that happens for 4 items or 5 items in a month. 6 times 5 is 5 times 6 is 30. So 30,000 naira has gone on logistics for rework. Now, if that is like an out of state order and It's not even coming back to your studio. But I mean, it's your problem. You have to fix it, right? And if the customer insists that, oh, sorry, I would really love this to get this fixed, you may now have to look for a tailor wherever, maybe in Lagos or wherever you sent it to, who is going to work with you. And then you're going to now have to pick up that thing from the customer, take it to that tailor, and all that stuff. You've not calculated that cost. So basically, you are seeing a situation where you have so much money lost in that whole process. So much money lost in that whole process. And that is something you want to actually avoid. So if we look at companies, like I was studying Toyota, I was studying a documentary that was telling the history of Toyota and its process. And it said that Toyota's production philosophy teaches that quality should be built into the process, not inspected at the end. And reading that thing actually made me change my system. So before, production will bring something out, and then quality control now takes over to check if it has a problem. And then if that thing now has a problem, it now has to go back to production. But when I read that thing, I was like, oh yes, quality should be built into the process. So I appointed a quality control manager within production, so that as you're producing, quality is being done at every stage of production, so that we are not waiting until we reach the end to see that something has a problem. We are catching it from the beginning. Fashion businesses without quality systems manufacture mistakes repeatedly. That's actually the truth. Fashion businesses without quality systems manufacture mistakes repeatedly. And that's not about human error. It's about the absence of a system. And this is especially so if you're running a ready-to-wear brand. So it's something you want to look at. So the first place you're losing money is in the cost of rework. So number two, the second place you're losing money is in your exhaustion. I call it the founder exhaustion cost. The founder exhaustion cost. You are losing money from being exhausted. Because guess what? A founder who is exhausted cannot work. A founder who is exhausted cannot think. That's the truth. So you are the one that is answering every question from the team. There's no escalation. So you may have a team of, say, 10 people, but those 10 people report directly to you. You haven't created a structure where, okay, this person is managing tailors, this person is managing procurement or runners, this person is managing issues relating to HR and admin. Within that's your system of 10 tailors. You need to be able to create this sub-department so that there's a buffer. Things don't just go from the ground and come to you. So you're answering, Madam, how much is the dress? It's you that will answer it. Madam, how should we do this pattern? You answer it. Oga, this staff, he did not come to work. He has not come to work in 3 days. It's you that will know why staff did not come to work and what happened. Madam, this customer said she ordered white and they gave her black. It's still you. So what happens? Every day you feel important. You go to the office, you feel needed. You go to the studio, you feel needed. You are happy that you're needed. But economically, like I always say, your time is the most expensive resource in your business. And so everybody who wants to actually earn money buys their time back. So if you're creating systems or you're employing people and you are not creating a framework by which these people that you're employing can help you buy your time back, then of course you are actually doing a disservice to yourself. So if the founder is the system, then your growth is going to stop at your capacity. It's going to stop at your limits, because the truth of the matter is that there's only so much you can do in one day. So the second reason why you're secretly losing money is that you're exhausted. So by the time they've asked you a question about pricing 5 times in a day, you tell, please don't come back here. I'm lucky if you come back here, there'll be problem. And I know what I'm saying because, this used to be me before I knew better. So that's the second hidden cost, founder exhaustion cost. Now, let us go to the third hidden cost. Let's go to the third hidden cost. And that cost is the customer trust loss cost. Customer trust loss. So when you lose customer trust, that's a hidden cost. Because I've always said that it is easier to retain a customer, and it is easier to get a customer who has bought from you before to buy from you again. So if that customer that bought from you before is not buying from you again, that is an error. That is an error. It means that somewhere in your system, something is broken. So let's explore it. Let's say you actually delivered something to a customer. You delivered something to a customer and she came back and said, oh, this item that was delivered had a problem. It had XYZ problem. Now, because you did not create a system where maybe if you're the one taking the order, maybe that day you were angry, somebody had upset you in your business and you just lashed out at the customer. I beg, madam, it's what your order that we sent to you. If it's not okay for you, leave it. Or I beg, no problem, I will do you a refund. Some of us do that. A customer will just complain. Instead of you to press your chest and address that complaint, you just say, I beg. Thank you, ma. Thank you for your order. Please send your account number for refund. You just refund. But many times it's not about that one customer. It's about the stream. You don't know the stream of people that customer will bring. That's number one. Number two, you have not calculated the lifetime value of a customer. So let's say that customer was a first-time customer and they ordered something. But because you did not handle the complaints well, they're just going to never come back. And that customer lifetime value is lost. So that money now that you spent acquiring that customer, your cost per customer acquisition, is just going to be high because you could not now press that customer to bring out more value from the customer. Why? Because you lost customer trust. So this is something that luxury brands actually understand very deeply. So brands like Hermes, for instance, they don't sell bags, they sell predictability. So when someone is buying a Birkin, they are not just buying a bag. They know that the Birkin is going to be properly finished. They know that the customer experience will be top notch. Delivery. Have you ever gone to Chanel to buy something? From the way they even, first of all, there is a certain number of people that cannot be in the Chanel store at the same time. So once they have more people than the number of attendants they have, they tell you that the store is temporarily closed until they can push out some more people, then they admit more people. And why do they do that? They want the customer experience to be consistent. And they know that if one attendant can only attend to 2 people at a time, if they have 4 people, the customer is not going to have that experience. And if you don't get that experience that you expect from them, you won't come back. Now, that's the same thing with fashion brands. You need to build your customer experience in a way that is predictable. And that experience can be in terms of fit, finish, or even customer relationship. The person attending to your customers. So, consistency is what builds trust. Whether it's consistency of output, consistency of your product, consistency of customer experience, that is what builds trust. And it is trust that builds repeat revenue. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. It is when you get that trust factor that people will keep coming back. Say, if it's Wura, forget. Once they send you that, it will fit you, bakam. It is that trust factor. So you have to now build up your brand in a way that your trust factor, you are not losing it. Customer doesn't lose trust in your brand, because the moment customer loses trust in your brand, that's money. That's where your money is going to. So we're looking at the hidden cost, right? where your profits are leaking. Your profits are leaking in customer trust that is lost. So that's number 3. Now, number four, what is the fourth place where your profit is leaking? What is the fourth place where your profit is leaking? I call it the inventory money leak. The inventory money leak. So the so the fourth place where your hidden costs are going to is in inventory money leak. So a lot of businesses, not even just fashion brands, a lot of businesses lose a lot of money in inventory. So over the end of last year, there was this whole thing on Instagram where businesses were saying, this person, they've been stealing my hair to sell to people for cheaper rates. They've been stealing, and even this even happens in service-based businesses. Like there was someone who owned a resort in Lagos that was saying, her staff had been stealing and all that. So whether it is that people are giving out your rooms, for instance, if you own a hotel, they are giving out your rooms, but those rooms are not recorded. That is money that you're losing. If it's that people are taking your stock and reselling outside or something, that's money that you're losing. So a lot of money is lost in inventory leakages because there isn't a system by which inventory is tracked. So maybe you buy fabric, you don't have a system by which what you bought is entered, what has been. Yesterday, I was telling those in the PFA Ready to Wear bootcamp, I was teaching them how to actually deal with their inventory. And I said, you need to have 3 simple registers. And these registers would make you be able to catch inventory, especially when it comes to fabric production and sales together as an ecosystem. So your fabric gets missing, but you don't even know. Or let's even say, because normally when they want to steal, when your tailors want to steal fabric, they don't steal the whole thing. They just steal just a little. So maybe you bought 50 yards of fabric and they'll just take 4 yards, 400. But because it was 50 yards you bought, you don't really notice because you're not tracking it. So you don't pay attention to, how many yards needed to have, been there. Based on this, the number of dresses that we have made, what should be left? You don't have a system. So either your fabric is not tracked, your stock is not tracked, and all that. And things just get missing. Or emergency buying happens at retail price. Okay, you did not track for when your minimum reorder should be triggered. So before you know it, they say, madam, we need wine crepe for your dress. You say, wine crepe is finished. So now the crepe that you buy from maybe Aba or China or Turkey and it comes at a landing cost of 1,500 per yard, you're going to the local market to buy it for 3,500 or 4,000 per yard. And obviously your costing is already based on how you buy it. Have you seen where your money went to? So now you bought 4 yards at 3,500 instead of 1,500. That's easily 8,000 naira that has gone. So if you already had a price for that dress and you've sold it to the customer at that price, automatically your money has gone. So that is part of how fashion businesses are losing money. And everything I share here are things that I've suffered. They are things that used to happen to me because I didn't know better. My business used to happen to me. But there is a way. There is a way. So you need to know what sells. You need to know when it sells. You need to know how much to produce. You need to know when to restock. And all this, you can create a system around it so that you're not just running around in circles. Speed comes from systems, not talent. Put that in the comments. Speed comes from systems, not talent. So cost number 5. Cost number 5 is marketing reset cost. Marketing reset cost. Marketing reset cost. So what is the marketing reset cost? You do marketing a lot, but you don't have somewhere where you gather your customers. So every month is like you're starting afresh. You don't have any community, you don't have any place. There's no place where you are gathering customer data. You're not entering their name somewhere that you can easily reach them. So every month you start again. You start to post again. You start to convince again. You start to find new customers again because there's no retention system. A recent Harvard Business Review report says that acquiring a new customer costs far more than retaining existing ones. Yet many fashion brands never speak to buyers after delivery. After delivery, you leave them. You don't go back to say, how was your dress? Do you want to join our mailing list? Do you want to join our WhatsApp community and get notified when we have new items? Nothing. So every month, your growth resets. And that is where your money is. So those people that you should be selling to repeatedly, they are lost. And this one happened to me because I didn't know better. But now, if you pass through my system, you must enter one CRM somewhere. So you need to create a system around it. Now, why does this happen to us as fashion entrepreneurs? Because we are creatives. And when you're a creative, most times you're stuck in creating. You will know how to sew, you know how to design, you know how to style, but you don't know about workflow. You don't know about operational thinking. You don't know about strategic thinking. You don't know how to design a process by which things are done. So your success now becomes chaotic. It becomes non-replicable because you didn't build a system that you could replicate it. So chaos is not a proof of growth. It's a proof that something is actually undefined. It's a proof that something is undefined. So how do we fix this? What is a simple fix we can use? Number one, you can fix this chaos. I'm going to give us 5 systems because I've given us 5 things that is the 5 hidden costs. So let me give you 5 systems to fix it. Number one, get an order fulfillment system. Define stages from payment to delivery. What happens within that? Actually, write it out in an SOP so that there's a system. Define an authority system so that everybody is not coming to talk to you. Define what gets to who and what is escalated. So if you have a problem with production or sewing, who do you go to? When does it get to me? How many levels you need to pass through? And I say this because a lot of us even have people that work for us, but we are still overwhelmed. Because even though you hired people, instead of you now delegating, you multiplied the chaos. So define an authority system. Who decides what without asking you? Number 3 system, define a quality control system. So many times we find ourselves complaining. We say, oh, don't you know that this thing that you did is not okay? Don't you know that this quality now, does it look good for you? If the person knew the quality, the person will not be working for you. That's the truth. They'll be working for themselves. They are working for you because they don't know better. So you need to define what is okay for you. You need to define your standards. Write them down. Make them clear. People should know what is acceptable within your system without having to ask you. So the third thing you need to define is a quality control system. Then number 4, define an inventory tracking system. An inventory tracking system or an inventory visibility system. And why do you need an inventory tracking system? So that things are not getting missing. Track your materials like you're tracking money because your materials are money. Track your finished goods like you're tracking money because your finished goods are money. So don't just pay attention to every part, every system, especially materials. As a fashion brand, that's where your money goes. So maybe you have tailors, they are stealing things. They are stealing your hair stay. They are stealing your wardrobe. They are stealing your collar stay. They are stealing thread. They are stealing elastic. All those things add up. They all add up to your cost. So you must track them to know, what is this leak? Where is it coming from? If you buy thread that is supposed to sew 2 dresses, you're doing ready to wear, or you're supposed to sew 10 dresses and it finishes after 1 dress, what's the problem? Or if you buy elastic, row of elastic should last for 4 dresses or 5 dresses. Then after 1 dress, I tell you it's finished. It means it went somewhere. So you need to track your inventory that it should be visible, even in the way that the inventory is even kept. One of the ways that our inventory gets missing is because the way you don't even keep the inventory in an orderly manner. Your inventory should be able to be kept in a way that when something is missing, you will see it. When you come, why am I not seeing that fabric there? But when inventory is, maybe you put it in a box, put it in a carton, a cupboard somewhere, you even forget that it's there. It makes it easy for people to steal from you. So define an inventory visibility system that makes your things stay visible and makes it hard for people to actually steal from you. The fifth thing you want to define is a customer retention system. A customer retention system. So what happens to your customer after the purchase, after the sale? What happens to your customer? So you need to define a customer retention system that helps you ensure that customers are getting into your CRM and you can actually see what happens to your customer. Now, you need to remember this. Systems don't remove creativity. They protect your profits. It is systems that protect profitability. So we can't talk about profitability without systems. And that is exactly why we have created the Fashionpreneur SOP bundle. Because every time I talk about standard operating procedures, people are like, well, how do I do it? Even people that know how to do it sometimes are just overwhelmed when they're trying to create the SOPs. So at the Profitable Fashionpreneur Academy, we're saying, okay, we are creating done-for-you systems so that you can plug and play. So the Fashionpreneur SOP bundle is not theory. It's actually operational clarity. So it will help you to install decision rules. It will help you to create a workforce flow structure. What happens first? What happens next? It will help you to define who is accountable, who is the owner of that SOP. When something gets lost in that particular process, who are you catching? And all those things will create consistency. It's consistency that creates repeatability. So because you have a documented framework, that's where legacy comes from. There's no legacy without documentation. So your business can only stop depending on you entirely if you have a documented system. And that is what we are creating, with the SOP bundle. So tonight, I want to leave you with this. You're not tired because business is hard. You're tired because you are carrying business decisions that should be designed into a system already. You're deciding every day, but meanwhile, you should be repeating something that you have decided once. You're tired because you are slowly leaking. Your business is leaking and you're not paying attention, whether it is in rework cost, whether it is in customer loss of trust cost, all the things I've shared. Your business is leaking. Growth begins the moment leakage stops. So if you don't take anything out of today's webinar, remember this: profit is not created by working harder. It is created and protected by installing the right systems. Thank you for joining us on today's Fashionpreneur Friday Live. As always, my name is Wuraola Obaka, and I am called your Profitable Fashion Coach. I'm the only one who is obsessed about giving you the framework that helps you move your business from struggling to profitable. And if you know that you are out to create a legacy business that outlives you, this is where you want to be. So like, subscribe, and share this link to any fashion entrepreneur you know. And know that we are here every day, daily by 8:30 p.m. You want to be right here on this page. This is where you camp if you want a profitable fashion brand. Thank you for joining us. The Fashionpreneur SOP Vault is going to be available to order from the 10th of March. Just comment Vault and we'll reach out to you with the details. Have a nice day, Profitpreneurs, and have a fabulous weekend. I will see you on Monday at another episode of our Daily Fashion Fix.
First of all, I want to thank you, Wura, for putting up this bootcamp. Thank you, Coach Wura. You are a blessing to us in this bootcamp and to your generation at large.
Coach, you are amazing. I love your teaching. I love how you are genuinely teaching us and you genuinely want us all to be successful and to start right.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
And thank you, Coach Wura, for investing in the next crop of fashion entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
So you're a fantastic teacher, being able to break down to the nitty-gritty in the simplest of ways that even a baby would understand and be able to implement.
I have never had so much thinking about my business. Like, and my eyes are just opening every day to new things.
And I'm really grateful for this platform because it has made me to realize that in order to be successful, you have to build systems.
It has really been an eye-opening journey for me. I finally understood the power of having clear, standard operating procedures for my business.
I have never seen a more consistent person in my life. The kind of way you inspire us, even if we are ashamed to give excuses in the bootcamp. So for me, Wura is a real deal. Go and check her out.
Thank you so much, PFA.
I'm really proud to, call you my coach.
Thank you, Coach Wura.
God bless you.